Join us and discover beautiful beaches, rugged landscapes, pretty towns, desolate mountain ranges that sweep down to stunning lakes, unique architecture, history and folklore, no shamrocks, no shillelaghs, and definitely no shenanigans, just naked Ireland. This is St Fiachra's garden at the Irish National Stud in County Kildare. It's one of a few beautiful gardens situated here, and some of you may have already watched my film on the incredible Japanese garden. In common with the Japanese garden, in fact, is the use of rock, as you can see, and water to create real drama. It's teeming with rain today, but hey, this is Ireland. Get your coat on and let's go for a walk. This is a 4-acre garden comprised of woodland and lakeside walks. The garden's designed to be a reflection of the raw Irish landscape. Now obviously, being man-made, it's a construction fashioned after the natural world, and it's intended to represent the natural environment that inspired our famous monastic movement of the 6th and 7th centuries. So if you think, for example, of the stunning area around a monastic site such as Glendalough, which we've also seen in a previous Naked Ireland film, that's the starting point for the design of this place. The garden designer was Professor Martin Hallinan, and it was created to celebrate the millennium. But who was Saint Fiachra, I hear you demand? Well, he was the patron saint of gardeners. Also bizarrely, he appears to have been the patron saint of taxi drivers, but we'll park that one for the moment, if you'll pardon the pun. Additionally, it seems he was the patron of box makers, florists, hosiers, pewterers and tile makers. So he's a busy saint. How's St Fiachra? Fiachra comes from the Old Irish fiach, meaning raven, and the raven features fairly prominently in Irish mythology. And on the subject of Irish mythology, Fiachra, you may remember, was also one of the children of Lear. Now the actual St Fiachra, who we'll see in a moment, represented as a statue obviously, not in the flesh, was a priest, abbot, a hermit, and most importantly in relation to this place, a gardener. He was born around 600 AD and lived to what must have been back then the ripe old age of around 70. And here's a building that presumably represents his hermitage. Now, he had a secret health weapon as far as his longevity was concerned, in that he was famous for curing infirmities. In fact, he left Ireland to live life as a hermit in France, where he had a vegetable and herb garden and famously a hospice for travellers. He was obviously an early pioneer of herbal remedies. I think to live until you were 70 in the 7th century, it must be the equivalent of living to 120 today. So here we are back in the open air, back in the rain. The things I do for Naked Ireland. Actually give the film a like, since I'm getting soaked for the cause here. And don't forget to subscribe, very important. So Fiachra's emigration to France was as a result of him being the victim of his own success. After gaining his reputation for curing illness, he attracted crowds of people in Ireland, and so his departure for France was an attempt to seek solitude again. Now here's a little known fact. One of St Fiachra's specialisms was the treatment of hemorrhoids. So piles of information on old St Fiachra there. Perhaps you could share this video with any of your friends who suffer from hemorrhoids. I'm sure they'd appreciate that. And don't forget that if you really like these Naked Ireland videos, you can support me further by buying me a pint. Just follow the link in the second paragraph of the description below this video and that'll take you straight to the donation page. All donations really help in the production of new content, and it's great to have you as part of that process. So I think you'll agree that this is a very beautiful garden. Lovely to have it to myself today too, and that's the advantage of sightseeing in the rain. And remember that if you're at all horticulturally inclined, you can see the incredible Japanese garden in the same visit if you come here to the National Stud. A kind of 2-for-1 offer. 3 if you include the impressive stud itself. Great for you horsey people. Who knows, you may even get a nicer day than I did. But I'd never be put off by a drop of rain, particularly in a place as stunning as this. I've said it before and I'll say it again, sometimes Ireland looks its best in the rain. Isn't this beautiful? And without the rain we wouldn't have the moss on the rocks, for example. And of course this is an important habitat for wildlife as well. And there's the man himself, out there in the water, sitting on a rock. Certainly no hemorrhoids on him. So I hope you've enjoyed this little garden walk. I'm going to go and dry off now, but just to remind you to like and subscribe if this has been interesting. Buying the author pints is optional, and I hope to see you all soon in the next Naked Ireland.